Mula is the nickname. My real name is Tapfuma.
Yes.
Tapfuma Nzara.
Okay.
Born in Kwekwe, grew up in Zimbabwe. Studied a bit, primary, different schools, high school. Went to Nyanga, Maris Brothers, and then came to PE, and then came to Monash in South Africa, and then just started doing my thing. Well, I had the nickname. The nickname Mula has always been there, and it's because I'm an artist. That's probably one of the drivers of my passion. I'm an artist, and in pursuing my artistic career, I was fortunate to find an avenue within the production side of entertainment business, and that's the company Mula VIP Rentals from T Mula. So it was an extension of the art becoming more of a businessman in the entertainment business. I think that was genetic. My mom, she's late, but my mom was quite a very good mbira player, and she used to play with Anna Andy Brown and Chiwoni Somaraire and stuff like that. And my dad was a businessman in entertainment circles. For people of his time and his age, they would know a company called Black Joy Entertainment. Black Joy they had a nightclub in Kwekwe, but they used to do gigs in Harare, in Kadoma, in Bulawayo. So my dad was very heavy on the entertainment scene, as well. And he was a DJ and a club owner, / promoter as well. So I grew up with that kind of influence. I branched into my own avenues in search of my own success in the arts and entertainment. But I think that influence and that genetic background definitely plays a big role in everything. Basically that's what I'm trying to say, that the terrain that I'm in is totally different. So the influences are on me. The influences were on me, but the terrain that I've had to dig and find my own space in is a total different one from the one that my parents played in. The game is not as easy as as some people might like to think of it. I think the biggest thing that I can see that sets apart the top A-listers from any other ordinary or upcoming entertainers is experience. Experience is one of the key ones, because once you get to a certain level of experience, you do things that might seem difficult, that would break someone's nerves. They do them easily. So experience is definitely one of them, and I'd say passion as well. Passion for what you do. Is what enables you to become a master at whatever it is that you're doing. So that drive, that passion, combined with the experience from having done it for a few years, is that's, you can feel that when you're around some of these A-listers, that they exude confidence from experience. I'm saying, like, for example, how some of these artists go on a stage and just rock that stage like it's just like easy. It's not easy to move people, but when one has the confidence and the experience, they know how to, how to do what needs to be done. So I'm comparing that to somebody who's upcoming and still trying to get their stage performance or stage presence on point. And that's not just for musicians, even people who do MCs, etc., event hosts and stuff like that. It can be nervy if you don't know what you're doing, or if you're still in the earlier stages of your career. But as you go along, the nerves would never end, especially as the stages continue to get bigger and more, advanced or etc. But yeah, experience is what allows you to do some of these things with ease, I'd say. So I'm just thinking of some of the artists like that you're asking me who I interact with, and how easily they go into a studio and record a song, one take without even thinking twice, and everyone is already wild in the studio or on stage, and they grab the mic and they do something for 5 minutes and it's done. Or look at the others who can go for an hour or 2 hours on stage, and the crowd is not bored. It takes experience for that. Also experience, eh? Same thing with me. I've seen how, like when we've been doing, when we've been trying to train other upcoming producers and, cinematographers and stuff like that. Also for me, it's the experience that I've now gained that makes it look easy when I do the work, but it's a lot of work, so I also credit it to experience. The way I put together a shoot now for the next hour. If a client came and said we need to shoot now, I can make it happen. But it's in my brain. It's the amount of information that I have that gives me the experience to know. Okay, quickly I'll phone my cinematographer. I'll phone this house. We've got a location. I'll phone this car. We've got that. Phone this equipment. Phone do this, do this, do this, do this, and we're shooting. You know what I mean? So it also, to do these big projects, even events as well, it's experience. Experience is what allows you to do it with ease. You know what I mean? That's having done it before a couple of times, is what makes it easy. When it's your first time, you go through a lot of learning curves, and your first couple of times. And that's why they say, what do they say? They say 10,000 hours of something, and you become like a master at it. So that's still my answer to how we get these projects done. My own experience has been that consistency, and passion for what you do. um, each job, when you do it like that, you get more referrals. Our particular business model, most of our clients are referrals. 90% of it. In fact, now we're only, applying technology to expand into other clientele that, don't have a direct contact to us. But most of our jobs has been referrals. So, it was one job. I did one job, and then after that job, I get 2, 3 clients on set, and others are asking me what next, or referrals. So it's been one job, opens up more doors. Second job opens up more doors. Each job opens up more doors, and that's why we treat each job as our first job. Because that the performance at that last job is what it's directly connected to the future, to more jobs in the future. Or if you mess it up, it's bad PR. And although the city is big and the industry has got its size, but a lot of players know each other. So if we do something wrong, it'll get around to some of our other customers from a week ago, and you end up losing trust backwards, where you had gained it. So the key has been to just execute each job flawlessly. And once that happens, everyone raves about you, yeah, and then they tell others, and if they become your marketing, literally, because wherever they are, if they hear anything that is a service that we can provide, they confidently, do referrals. So yeah, that's my answer to that. That's how we've survived. It's just by thorough execution of each job as it comes, small or big. Or entertainment business work, I'm not sure of so many other industries. I do intend on venturing into other enterprises as well, just to become a serial, entrepreneur. But from entertainment business side, entertainment business is crisis management from the get-go. It's just crisis management. So, when I say you have to execute the job, you need to have plan A, plan B, plan C to be able to make sure things, flow well. We rent out cars, houses, we do production. So some of the hiccups that we've had before is maybe say, we confirm a certain car, then something silly like the car is no longer starting because of whatever, or the key is locked up, and we've had one or two of those issues, and it's shoot date, so in such instances, there's a lot of PR with your client. You need to be able to adjust their expectation. The guy was expecting a yellow Lamborghini. Yellow Lamborghini can't come. So what do? You know what I mean? Like when you find out that the car can't come and it's needed in an hour, you have to get another one. Maybe get a white Lamborghini. If you can't get any Lamborghini, you have to talk to the client and adjust him to a Ferrari or to something. You know what I mean? But something must happen at the end of the day, because if nothing happens, then it's a big mess up. So same thing with the houses. You book a house, and then for whatever reason, maybe the owner of the house changes their mind, or there's an issue or an argument between a couple about the work. We bring models to sets. Some wives have had a problem with that, or husbands. Maybe something happens on the day and it's chaotic, and you need to move. You you move. I've had another situation where client didn't have time to do a house reiki, and then when we got to the set, the house, although beautiful, it wasn't going to work for the particular treatment. Then what did we have to do? We had to quickly cancel, make good with the owner of that house so that we can still use that house at another time, shift to another house immediately, move the whole production. So it's always crisis management. Same thing with events. Cops pull up, you need to make sure you sort that out. Neighbors are complaining, calling cops at etc. It's always things like that. Artist is late to perform. So our whole job is crisis management entirely, but it's how you manage it. How you have option A, B, C, D, E. While on set. That's basically what you need to do. Well, I mean, it's no secret that entertainment business is one of the most hard hit businesses, because our job is to put people together, and right now we're not allowed to put people together. So obviously, work has kind of stopped. But my experience from last year, I mean, South Africa, we went into a very hard lockdown at the end of March. Um, April, May, we didn't have any work around that time. And then in June, we got to level 4. Well, in South Africa, which was what was level 4. But although still strict, the Minister of Arts and Culture allowed for productions to resume. So we started working then. Fortunately, we made up for a lot of the losses in the months when we weren't working. Thankfully. Well, what it taught me, or what I saw, because when everything happened, that was a threat to our entire existence, our entire entrepreneurial in existence as well. So it was very scary. No one knew what the direction was, but just how things unfolded kind of taught me how we are part of critical critically important service, because while people were at home, the demand for content skyrocketed, so you see like all the soapies, the airings, where things were slowing down, and a lot of programs, they ran out of content to air. Yeah, so we just got very, very busy at that time, and then yeah, we've been busy. Right now we just slowed down a little bit because of obviously the most recent presidential address. But nevertheless, we from what we experienced last year, we're just gearing ourselves for the very busy season once things start coming back to normal. Well, in terms of the car rentals, first of all, the biggest insurance we have is that we do chauffeur drive services, so we're not um, we're not really giving people keys to take the cars and go, because that's too risky. So we do chauffeur drive services where we will bring the car to, if it's a music video, we'll bring it to your set. If you absolutely need to do a drive scene, for a few meters, we can arrange that. Obviously, if we know that you are a safe driver and in a controlled environment, we can facilitate that. Otherwise, there's a lot of tricks that you can use in film and edit to still pretend like someone was the one who was driving when he wasn't. So, that's how we keep the car safe. We don't just, give the keys unnecessarily to anybody. Properties as well, we deal with professionals in film. Obviously, once or twice there will be a mistake or two, but we haven't had many issues over the years, in the of the whether it's the properties or the cars. We haven't had much damage to worry about. And I guess the main thing is that we're dealing with professionals. That's the biggest thing. Most of our clients are professionals. Some of them, they come from luxury as well, so they're not immune to knowing how to handle luxury. Experience is what I always look for. You know what I mean? Like, we in the fast lane, there's very little time for too much babysitting. It's important to do, so we do obviously facilitate trainings and offer internships and stuff like that, to help. But when I get a job, like, the core of the team is going to be experience. Like, I'm getting, we do stuff with people who we trust. Same thing with me. People involve me in their own projects or involve our company in their particular projects. It's because they trust the delivery. So same thing. Like, if I'm on a project, you must know that it's a bunch of professionals. I'm lucky that the business that I started is a bit of a niche business. You know, it's an opportunity that wasn't widely. I mean, there are some other players in the industry, but it wasn't widely, you know, out there as an industry. But we've managed to, to make moves, stay ahead, and we all we're doing is staying ahead. It's actually inspiring to see that other people are trying to do some of the same things. It means that we're doing something correct. So yeah, don't hate the. They say what they say. Don't hate the player, hate the game. So yeah, we gotta work with others that are trying. We got no issues. Let them keep trying. We'll keep doing whatever we need to do to stay ahead of the game. That's all we can do. I think it's brand value, brand confidence. Is what is probably it. You know what I mean? Which is why you'd go into a supermarket, and before you pick another energy drink, you're gonna pick Red Bull because it's gonna do what you need. So just maintaining that confidence in our brand has been our edge. That even if people want to try another service, it's too risky, especially for the monies involved in the projects that we do. They would rather play it safe and play with us, and that's kind of our advantage. Mm, you got to move correct, because karma is real. You know, the energy you put out is the energy you get back. So I mentioned executing each job like it's your best opportunity ever. In whatever you do, I think that's the biggest advice that I can give. That stay consistent, stay on the ball, stay doing the best for your clients, so that they don't move elsewhere. And as you grow, just remember that you are a servant of the people. Don't get your head too big and then become a competition to your clients. You must remember that you are a servant, so yours is to serve. So as one grows, besides staying consistent, as you grow, you need to have a good head over your shoulder, stay humble, and remember that you're a servant. That's what an entrepreneur is. You're actually a servant. Although you're the boss, you're a servant. So if you can maintain that humility, I think it goes a long way. Yeah, consistency and humility. Um, it's the opposites. Being inconsistent, not doing jobs well, um, overwhelming yourself, and not doing what you call it, not and not carrying out work thoroughly is probably what they should avoid. And then avoid becoming unhumble, because then when you're too big for your clients, in your aura, they won't want to be your clients anymore. You must remember that you're a servant to them.